Evan slid into the unmarked seat beside Princess Vexa Kor. The grand hall thrummed with alien murmurs. Towering Korvaxi nobles lined the walls, their iridescent scales glinting under crystal lights. Evan adjusted his collar, assuming the spot was for human aids. Protocol charts never mentioned it. Vexa's head snapped toward him, her emerald eyes narrowed, slit pupils dilating. She wore ceremonial armor, black plates etched with dueling scars. A vibroblade hung at her hip. "You sit at my flank," she hissed in accented galactic standard, her voice cut like a whip. Unmarked, unbidden, Evan froze. "Apologies, Princess. Charts placed aids here. Too late." The court hushed. Chancellor Threx leaned forward from his dais, mandibles clicking in glee. Ambassador Leon Park shot Evan a sharp glance from across the aisle. Vexa seized his wrist. Her grip crushed like a vice, scaled fingers interlocking with bone-cracking force. Evan bit back a grunt. Humans weren't built for Korvaxi strength. "I claim this one," Vexa declared. Her voice boomed through the hall. "He takes the flank seat. By right of proximity. He binds as my blade mate." Gasps rippled. Nobles shifted, claws scraping stone. Threx's eyes gleamed. Park's face paled. Evan yanked his arm. It didn't budge. "Princess, this is a mistake. I'm Evan Hale, envoy aide, not..." Silence. Vexa hauled him to his feet. She towered over him, 7 feet of lethal grace. "The right hears no excuses. You sat. You claimed." Blade Priest Surok rose from his altar. Robes of woven blades clinked. He clutched a glowing data slate, its holographic runes pulsing. Proximity right invoked, witnessed by court. Record engagement. The slate chimed, runes, locked into permanence. Surok slammed a fist on the altar. Massive hall doors groaned shut, bolts thudded home, sealing the chamber. Evan's pulse raced, no exit. 200 Korvaxi stared, half hostile, half amused. Trek smirked, whispering to aides. Park pushed through the crowd, face thunderous, engagement binding. Surok intoned, "Princess Vexa Kor weds Evan Hale of Terra. Combat contract sealed. Dual trials commence at dawn." Murmurs exploded into chaos. Nobles surged forward. Guards, armored behemoths, blocked them with spear staves. Evan twisted in Vexa's grip. Her scales rasped his skin, warm and unyielding. "This can't be legal, Ambassador." Park reached them, shoving past a noble. "Evan, stand down. Don't fight or hold. It triggers escalation." "But..." "Follow her lead." Park's voice dropped. "Korvaxi rights are ironclad. Break it now, and they void the treaty. You're our bargaining chip. Stay calm. Trust her." Vexa released Evan's wrist. Red welts bloomed on his skin. She circled him, assessing. "You do not flinch. Good." Weak blades shatter. Evan rubbed his arm, meeting her gaze. "I'm no blade, Princess. Diplomat. Problem solver." Threx's voice cut through. "Priest, this human vermin mocks tradition. Nullify." Surok's eyes bored into Evan. "Tradition literal." He sat unmarked, she claimed. "Binding holds." Threx snarled. "Then test it. Force the trials. The weakling dies, and Vexa frees for true alliance." Vexa bared fangs. "My choice, Chancellor, not yours." Evan scanned the hall. Exits sealed. Holographic treaty projectors flickered above, human tech meshed with Korvaxi crystal. The alliance hung by this thread. His mistake. Park leaned close. "Evan, you're competent. Adapt. Korvaxi value duelists, but humans excel at strategy." "Show it." Vexa gripped Evan's shoulder. Her touch shifted, less crush, more anchor. "You fight with me, or die alone." Evan nodded once. "Tell me the rules." Her eyes widened fractionally. Aliens expected panic. He gave resolve. Surok chanted. Slate projecting runes, trial of blades, trial of trust, trial of blood. Threx plotted openly now, signaling guards. Two edged closer, spears low. Park blocked one. Diplomacy pauses for right. Interfere, and Terra walks. The guard hesitated. Threx cursed. Vexa drew Evan toward a side alcove. Crystal walls hummed with embedded sensors. Court recorders. First trial. Blades. We dual proxies. You command mine. Evan's mind raced. Human training, tactics not swordplay. Proxies, thralls. Mind linked. She tapped her temple. Neural implants glowed faintly. Korvaxi fight direct. Humans, indirect? He saw the opening. We plan. Exploit weaknesses. She tilted her head. Show me. Park intercepted Threx's path. Chancellor, this accident strengthens ties. Human endurance pairs your strength. Threx spat. Endurance? He wilts. Evan overheard, stepping forward. Test it. He rolled his sleeve, exposing welts. Your princess gripped. I stand. Court murmured. Vexa's lips quirked, almost a smile. Surok banged his altar. Right council forms. Princess consort, state vows. Vexa faced the court. I bind Evan Hale. His mind sharpens my edge. Evan swallowed. Improvise. I stand flank. Her strength guards my strategy. Runes flared approval. Doors stayed locked. Threx whirled on Surok. Priest, interpret strict. Humans lack scales. No blood right eligibility. Surok consulted slate. Species clause, compatible form. Terra physiology adapts. Precedent. Vexer wars. Threx's faction growled. A noble lunged. Evan sidestepped, Vexa clotheslining him with one arm. Control your dogs, she snapped. Evan's heart pounded. Forced proximity ignited sparks, her scent like ozone and steel. Trust flickered. Park pulled Evan aside. Trials are deadly, blades survive sparring. Trust. Share secrets under probe. Blood. Wound exchange. Evan clenched fists. We rig it. Human medtech heals fast. Vex's ear flicked. She heard. Clever, collaborate. Threx rallied whispers. Assassinate the pact. Trials kill him. The guard feinted toward Evan. Vexa intercepted, blade humming to life. Touch mine. Die. Evan analyzed. Guards loyal to Threx. Weak, left flank. Princess, he murmured. Signal your allies. Flank him, she nodded. Three nobles shifted, blocking Threx's path. Surok raised arms. Trials dawn. Hall unlocks post-vows. Vexa gripped Evan's hand. Gentle this time. You chose wrong seat. Now choose right path. Evan met her eyes. Competence bridged worlds. With you. Court tension peaked. Threx's glare promised murder. Park exhaled. Good. Now survive the night. Doors unsealed with a hiss. But Threx's whisper lingered. Trials end him. Vexa pulled Evan into the corridor shadows. Her warmth pressed close. They come for us. Trust my blade. Plan your traps. Evan's mind whirred. Diplomatic maps. Human ingenuity. Love seed sprouted in crisis. A blade whistled from darkness. Vexa parried. Evan dodged, grabbing a loose panel, improvised shield. They ran. Alliance forged in accident. Hostiles closed in. Vexa yanked Evan's wrist harder, her claws digging in just enough to sting. Shadows blurred as they sprinted down the vow corridor, bioluminescent veins pulsing red along the walls. Footsteps thundered behind. Threx's guards, blades humming. Match my pace. Vexa snarled over her shoulder. Her tail lashed, propelling her forward like a whip crack. Evan pumped his legs, lungs burning. Human strides were shorter, but he adapted, leaned into the rhythm, matched her feral gait. A thrown dagger clanged off his improvised shield. He hurled the panel back. It struck a pursuer's knee with a crack. Vexa glanced back, eyes gleaming. Good throw. They burst into the vow chamber. Towering arches loomed, etched with blade motifs. Surok stood at the altar, robes stiff as armor. His multi-jointed fingers gripped a ceremonial staff. Threx lurked in the gallery above, nobles flanking him like vultures. Ambassador Park hovered at the edge, face taut. Princess, Surok intoned, voice like grinding stone. The corridor seals. Vows now, or forfeit. Vexa shoved Evan forward. Key matches. Begin. Evan's heart hammered, no time for prep. Surok raised his staff, blade salute. Cross arms, palms up. Chant, steel binds, blood seals. Vexa demonstrated. Arms crossed swift, blades extended from her gauntlets with a snick. Palms glowed upward, crest pulsing. Evan mirrored her, arms crossed. But his human hands fumbled the angle. Palms tilted wrong, fingers splayed too wide. A holographic rune flared crimson above the altar. Surok's eyes narrowed. Error. Challenge clause invoked. Fiancé becomes combat asset. Trials amend the bond. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Threx leaned forward, smirking. Evan froze. One gesture. Diplomatic clauses? His mind raced. Diplomatic clauses. Alien legalese. Wait. Clarify the clause. Surok tilted his head. Staff humming. Tradition literal. Wrong salute demands proof of worth. Spare. Probe. Bleed. Survive. Vows bind. Vexa spun on Surok, blade half drawn. He heirs human. No challenge. Law binds all. Surok said. Amend or die. Evan stepped between them. Goal. Twist the wording. His voice stayed even. Priest. The clause says proof of worth. Not death. We prove now. Collaborative trial. Surok paused. Facets in his eyes whirring. Timing mattered. Hesitation signaled openness. Evan pressed. Precise. Asset proves in tandem. I arm her. She wields. One act seals. Threx bellowed from above. He twists. Execute the clause pure. Park interjected. Envoy seconds. Human treaty allows adaptation. Vexa gripped Evan's shoulder, heat radiating through her scales. Trust sparked in her gaze. Surok consulted his staff's runes. Tandem proof permissible. Amended. Spar as unit. One foe. Win. Vows proceed. Fail. Pact dissolves. Outcome locked. Evan exhaled. Competence bought time. Vexa nodded sharp. Accept. A guard vaulted from Threx's gallery. Massive. Vibroax whirring. Rex's ploy. Assassinate. Via proxy. Evan scanned. Chamber edges held ritual racks. Blades. Probes. Blood vials. He darted left. Snatched a sparring foil. Light balanced for human grip. Tossed it to Vexa. Extension. Your reach, my angle. She caught it mid-leap, fused it to her gauntlet. Blades now dual length. Guard charged. Vexa met him head-on, her strikes a blur. Axe swung wide. Evan flanked. Human speed. Low dodge. He jabbed the guard's knee joint, exposed by scale gaps. Guard roared, staggered. Vexa exploited. Her extended blade piercing armor seam. He crumpled. Chamber fell silent. Surok stamped staff. Proof. Vows resume. Breck's face twisted purple. Park hid a grin. Vexa pulled Evan close. Well fought, asset. Surok chanted. Arms crossed true. Chant. Evan nailed the salute this time. Palms precise. Steel binds. Blood seals. Vexa matched. Runes glowed gold. Crest public. Empire witnesses. Vexa unsheathed a ritual dagger, thin as wire. She pressed it to Evan's forearm. No flinch. Blade bit, discharp clean. Her crest burned in. Swirling vortex, glowing teal. Pain flared, then warmth spread. Her blood mingled via capillary link. Alien tech. Bonding pheromones. She bared her own arm. Evan took the dagger. Hesitated a beat. Her eyes locked. Challenge and plea. He marked her. Matching crest. Gasps again. Human wounding royal. Vexa flexed, admiring. Bound. Surok sealed. Trials dawn. Survive. Marriage holds. Doors hissed open to antechamber. Threx stormed down. Guards in tow. This farce ends. Human unfit. Vexa blocked him. Crests pulsing in sync. Mine now. Touch. War. Evan felt it. Pheromone haze sharpening senses. Her strength bolstered his. Human endurance met core ferocity. Park sidled close. Trials rigged. Med packs ready. Evan nodded. Collaborate. Share scans. Rig probes. Vexa overheard ear flick. Yes, trust deepens. Threx spat. Spar was luck. Trust trial exposes weakness. Probe rips secrets. A noble whispered to Threx. More whispers spread. Hostile factions mobilizing. Evan analyzed. Left gallery weak. Park's allies there. Princess. Signal flank. She flicked tail subtle. Nobles shifted, cutting Threx's escape. Surok watched impassive. Rest. Dawn breaks. They retreated to Vow Alcove, forced proximity, silks draping like a tent. Vexa pressed against him, warmth electric. Your error gifted this. Evan traced her crest. Accident forged alliance. Her claws grazed his jaw. Gentle, love, or pact? Crisis tests both. Competence bridged. Her lips brushed scales to skin. First kiss. Ozone sharp. Alarms blared distant. Threx's sabotage. Vexa rose, blade ready. They breach outer halls.
Evan grabbed med kit from Park's drop.
We hold. Plan traps. Alliance deepened. Love sprouted amid blades. But dawn loomed. Trust trial next. Probe minds. Threx's whisper echoed. Secrets kill. Evan's mind whirred. Human bluffs alien steel. Survive. Vexa pulled him into shadows. Match me always. He did. Pace perfect. Threx's guards fainted at alcove edge. Vexa parried one. Evan tripped second with a silken cord. Improvised snare. Third lunged. Evan rolled, foil thrusting up into joint. Vexa finished. Your ingenuity. Extraordinary. Humans endured. Aliens struck true. Together. Unstoppable. Park signaled from afar. Scans incoming. Rig trust probe. False secrets. Evan nodded. Goal. Fake vulnerability. Bait Threx. Vexa scented air. More come. Corridor trap. Evan eyed panels. Rig collapse. Human demo charges. Park's pack. They worked fast. Vexa welded panels with blade heat. Evan wired charges. Precise. Silent. Footsteps neared. Threx's voice. End the asset. Trap sprung. Panels buckled, crushing two guards. Threx retreated. Cursing. Sirach appeared. Disruptors forfeit favor. Trials pure, or exile. Vexa snarled. Threx provokes. Sirach eyed crests. Bond holds. Dawn. They collapsed in alcove. Breaths sink. Her head on his chest. Trust earned. Secrets tomorrow, she murmured. Mine first? Evan squeezed hand. Share. Build. The pheromones hummed. Love ignited. But gallery shadows stirred. Blade glinted. Assassin. Inbound. Evan woke. Blade ready. Vexa already struck. Foe down. Threx endless, she growled. Evan bound the body. Vexa hauled Evan through the shadowed corridors, her grip iron on his wrist. Assassin body vanished behind a false panel, her blades work. Guards flanked them, crests flaring in dawn's first glow. Custody suite, she growled. Tradition binds you now, no escape. They burst into her chambers. Opulent steel walls gleamed, etched with dual scars. Massive bed dace dominated, draped in pheromone silks. Evan stumbled as she shoved him inside. Door hissed shut. Lock engaged. From the outside, her voice muffled through. Settle, consort. Guards watch. Trust trial at zenith. Evan spun, heart pounding. Alone. He scanned fast. Human habit from black site trainings. Air hummed wrong. A crystal node pulsed in the ceiling vent. Imperial blue. Listening device. Threx's eyes and ears. He ripped a silk panel from the bed, bolted it triple thick, eyed the room. Alloy tray, power conduit under the dais. Improvised Faraday cage. He yanked wires from the conduit. Park's crash course in alien tech paid off. Wrapped silk around node, taped with conduit insulation. Sparks flew. Node died, light flatlining. Safe. For now. Footsteps echoed. Inside the room, a panel slid open in the far wall. Chancellor Threx stepped through, robes whispering, no knock. Just presence. His crest lay flat, eyes like data slates. Human, efficient. Evan backed to the dais, hands loose, no weapon. Threx's guards stayed hidden. Protocol, Chancellor, secret passages, classy. Threx circled, claws clicking marble. Vexa secures you per right. Custody proves intent. But you, accident, binding error. He paused at a crystal decanter, poured amber fluid, drink. Annuls quietly. Heart stops. Body suicides. Treaty survives. I shield her from scandal. Evan's pulse spiked. Poison. Standard play. He edged toward the door, locked, generous. But no. Formal review. Treaty Clause 7B, Human Envoy requests arbitration. Trex laughed, dry as sand. Bold. You trigger pact by spilling blood in right chamber. Human clumsiness foils my claim. Now Vexa duels for you. He extended the glass. Refuse, and factions fracture. Park's treaty dies. Your corpse? Convenient. Evan's mind raced. Park's signal earlier. Rigged trust probe. Fake secrets. Trex wanted him gone before MindLink exposed plots. Annulment voids engagement. Leaves Vexa free for you. Trex's crest twitched. Insightful vermin. She resists my house, but wed to power. He sipped his own glass, untouched by poison. Accept, die hero. Humans praised for sacrifice. Evan fainted left, grabbed the decanter, splashed contents across floor. Sizzle, acid etch. Humans bluff better alive. Review now. Surak mediates. Threx lunged. Evan rolled, tray whipping up, clang, blocked claw. Threx recoiled, surprised. You fight like her, learned fast. Evan pressed, tray edge slicing robe. Guards burst from panel. 4. Evan vaulted dais, silks tangling one, kicked knee. Crack. Vexa pheromones lingered. He inhaled, focus sharpening. Human endurance met alien speed. Threx barked, subdue. Guards swarmed. Evan dodged, used bedpost as lever. Tripped second, third's blade nicked arm. Hot sting. He countered with elbow to throat. Gurgle. Door exploded inward. Vexa stormed, blade ignited. Threx. She cleaved guard in half. Plasma arc sizzled air. Threx retreated to panel. This escalates nothing. Liar. Vexa hurled dagger, grazed his crest. Blood welled, panel sealed, gone. She whirled to Evan, eyes blazing. Checked his wound. Claws gentle, sealing with biogel from belt. You disabled node. Sensed it.
Teamwork, he grinned through pain.
Her touch lingered. Heat, building. Guards outside bellowed alarms. Vexa dragged him to dead dace. Rest, trial soon. She straddled him, pinning wrists. Pheromones flooded. Mine now. Fight with me. Evan met her gaze, pulled her down. Lips brushed. Human soft. Alien fire. She growled approval. Bond sealed deeper, but panel hummed again. Faint knock. From inside. Threx's voice echoed. Princess. We negotiate. Vexa snarled, blade ready. Evan tensed beneath her, trap within trap. Zenith neared, trust trial loomed, minds bare. Evan whispered, rig it, all secrets. She nodded, fierce smile. Together. Park's voice crackled from hidden comma. Evan's boot sole. Scans confirm. Threx's faction mobilizes, old. Evan squeezed Vex's hand. Her crest flared bright. Human ingenuity. Alien fury, unbreakable. Chancellor knocked harder. Open, or Surik declares breach. Vexa rose, Evan behind, door to passage unsealed. Threx waited, guards doubled. Private word. Annulment. For peace. Evan stepped forward. No, full court, now. Threx's eyes narrowed. Fool.
Trial exposes you. Exposes everyone.
Evan tapped temple. Mind probe, human bluffs ready. Vexa flanked him, blade humming. He speaks for us. Threx signaled guards. They parted. Corridor led to right hall. But shadows stirred. More eyes. They marched. Surak awaited at hall's apex, blades crossed. Bondkin enter. Minds link, truth, or shatter. Evan and Vexa knelt opposite. Crystal probe descended. Neural web. Glow intensified. Link snapped. Her thoughts flooded. Dual hunger. Political chains snap here. You, free, spark. Evan pushed back. Rigged doubts. Threx bribes. Fake for bait. She scented truth. Clever prey. Love this. Probe pulsed. Surak intoned. Secrets bare. Trust holds. Alarms wailed. Gallery erupted. Threx's faction stormed. Halt right, human fraud. Vexa ignited blade. Evan grabbed fallen guard's foil. Park burst from diplomat wing. Treaty invokes defense. Chaos. Blades clashed. Evan parried noble, tripped with cord silk from sweet. Vexa covered, plasma carving path. Prex dueled Suro, crests locked. Evan baited probe data. False embezzlement logs, beamed to hall screens. Threx faltered. Lies. Surok severed link. Truth verified. Threx forfeits. Guards turned. Chancellor fled. Vexa pursued. Evan matching stride. Sweet again. Victory haze. She locked main door. From outside. Rest true now. Evan scanned anew. No nodes. Safe. Knock. From inside. Passage panel. Vexa laughed outside. Threx's ghost. Evan unsealed. Empty. But data crystal waited. Message. Review granted. Die slow. Threat lingered. Love hardened resolve. Dawn broke full. Treaty breathed. That knives sharpened. Vexa returned. Key in claw. Pulled him close. Hours. He kissed fierce. Human heart. Alien empire. Won. Political winds howled. Trust trial passed. But annulment shadows crept. Guards saluted outside. Custody tradition held. Forced? No. Chosen. Evan whispered. More traps? Her pheromones answered. Always. With you. Bond unbreakable. Humans adapted. Aliens conquered. Together. Stars bowed. Threx's final play brewed. Formal review. War's eve. Evan armed mind. Survive. Love. Win. Word count 1327. Blade Priest Surok slammed his staff on the arena floor. Human. Complete the engagement trial, or forfeit the bond. Evan froze mid-stride in the vast coliseum. Thousands of alien eyes locked on him from tiered galleries. Crested nobles hissed. Vex's faction roared approval. His heart hammered. The accident. That slipped phrase in the suite had sealed this mess. Now, blood sealed it further. He glanced at Ambassador Park in the diplomat wing. She nodded once, sharp. Survive, hail. Treaty depends on it. Vexa strode forward, her iridescent scales gleaming under plasma lights. She tossed him a training blade, lighter than steel, humming with containment fields. Catch! Evan snatched it. Grip felt wrong. Balanced for claws, not fingers. He tested a swing. Whipped fast. Surok's voice cracked like thunder. Rules bind. First blood drawn claims truth. Human earns it without spilling his own, or dies unbound. Gallery exploded. Trex's remnants jeered from shadowed alcoves. Frail meat. Princess wastes steel. Vexa ignored them. She closed on Evan, eyes narrowing to slits. 10 seconds ticked on the arena hollows. Rule 1. Pivot on heel. Never back straight. Her blade flickered, testing his guard. He sidestepped. Barely. Rule 2. Arena breathes. Use pillars, vents, shadows. She lunged low. Evan twisted, boot scraping sand. Hot exhaust from a grate singed his calf. Rule 3. Breathe my rhythm. Strike ends when I halt. Final drill overhead chop. Evan rolled shoulder, blade clanging hers aside. Sparks flew. Time up. Zurok raised staff. Begin! Vexa ignited her live blade. Plasma edge sang blue death. She attacked. Faint high, slash low. Evan pivoted per rule 1. Sand shifted underfoot. He dodged. Heel digging in. She pressed. Triple sequence. Thrust. Whirl. Overhead. Kill strike. Gallery held breath. Evan scanned. Rule 2. Pillar loomed left. He circled it, using curve to blunt her angle. Her blade gouged stone. Shards peppered his arm. Pathetic! A Threx loyalist yelled from stands. Drones hummed overhead, broadcasting every flinch. Evan breathed her rhythm. Rule 3. Inhale on her windup. Exhale on pivot. She coiled for the lethal combo. 4 strikes chaining into disembowelment. Standard duelist form. He'd studied vids during transit. Humans adapted. First strike. Side cut. Evan foot worked back, vent exhaust blasting up. It warped her plasma trail. Superheated air bent light. She overshot by inches. Second. Upward riposte. He vaulted a low barrier. Environmental snag. Forgotten debris from prior rites. Leg scraped, but he landed inside her guard. Blade locked hers high. Third, spinning backhand. Evan dropped low, shadows from pillar cloaking his roll. Her blade whistled empty air. Sand exploded where he'd stood. Final blow loomed. Overhead plunge. Full power. Arena shook with her leap. Plasma screamed down. Evan spotted it, loose grate from his earlier dodge. He sidestepped, hooked boot under edge. Yanked. Grate flipped up. Perfect shield. Plasma hit metal. Explosion rocked the floor. Vexa recoiled, scales smoking. She landed light. Blade raised, but she halted. Rhythm broken by her own near miss. Surak's staff glowed. Blood drawn? Evan checked. No cuts. Sweat stung eyes but skin whole. Grate smoked. Vexa's claw scored. Vexa deactivated her blade. She stepped close, voice carrying. He pivots true. Reads arena breath. Matches my strike song. She gripped his shoulder. Firm. Possessive. Bondworthy. Crowd split. Cheers from her side. Hisses from Threx's. Park exhaled visibly. But Surak held up a claw. Trial passes. Blood earned. Hers, not his. He turned to Evan. Claim the right. Or shadows annul. Evan met Vexa's gaze. Her pheromones wafted. Victory spice, laced with heat. He nodded, claimed. Gallery murmured. Drones captured the press of her body against his. Interspecies spark. Threx's voice cut through from a private box. Fraud. Human cheats environment. Dishonor. Surak whirled. Silence fallen one, or face my blade. Guards surged. Threx retreated, but his eyes burned promise. Vexa pulled Evan toward the ritual dais. Next. Bow cut. Your blood now. Mine answers. He followed. Blade still hummed in his grip. Heart raced, not fear. Trust. Dais rose central, etched with empire runes. Surak chanted, staff weaving light threads. Vexa knelt first, extending claw. Cut here. Seal. Evan raised, training blade. Hesitated. Human precision, steady hands from sim training, not duels. He sliced shallow. Her scale parted. Indigo blood welled. She hissed approval. Took blade, mirrored on his palm, quick, clean. Pain flared, then warmth. Her blood mixed his on the runestone, glow spread. Bond locked. Surak boomed. Engaged! Empire witnesses. Applause thundered, but Evan caught it. Park signaling urgent. Datapad blink, incoming threat. Vexa rose, pulling him close. Feel it, pulse sync. He did. Heartbeat echoed hers, faint thrum through scales. Alien tech, biology, didn't matter. Competence proven. They descended dais. Her faction mobbed them. Claws slapping backs. Evan grinned through it. Fish out of water, swimming now. Park intercepted at tunnel mouth. Hail, Stellar, but Threx petitions review. Claims your environment hack voids right. War Council tomorrow. Vexa snarled. Let him. I'll carve petition. Evan flexed bandaged palm. Blood bond itched. Data first. I baited him before. Do it again. She tilted head. Human mind weapon. Yes. Tunnel lights dimmed. Guards flanked. Safe. For now. Suite awaited. Door sealed behind. Vexa shoved him against wall. Kissed hard. Fangs grazing lip. You fought my way. Earned. He kissed back. Hands on scales. Your rules. My feet. Pheromones thickened air. Clothes shed fast. Forced proximity turned chosen. Bodies synced like blades. Dawn crept, but hollows buzzed. Surak's seal. Review summons. Arena echoes truth, or breaks it. Threx's play. Annulment blade hovered. Evan armed up, training blade beside bed. Vexa's live one hummed nearby. Love sharpened edge. Political winds howled louder. Trust trial deepened. But final cut loomed. He whispered to her scales. Together? Her claw traced his scar. Always. Outside, boots marched. Custody guard shifted. Shadows crept closer. War's eve. Survive. Love. Win. Evan slammed the suite door open. Custody guards snapped to attention, claws twitching toward blades. Vexa strode past him, her tail lashing air like a whip. Council now. Move. They marched through glowing tunnels, boots echoed off crystal walls. Evan's bandaged palm throbbed under the blood bond wrap. Vex's scales gleamed under emergency lights, war paint from last night's rite still fresh. Guards parted at the chamber doors. Hollow seals hummed approval. Inside, the War Council table loomed, a slab of obsidian etched with faction sigils. Threx sat at head, flanked by his schemers. Ambassador Park nodded from the human side, eyes sharp. Blade Priest Surak hovered at the ritual end, staff glowing. Vexa claimed her seat with a thud. Evan slid in beside her, no assigned spots for bondmates. Murmurs rippled. Threx's eyes narrowed on the human interloper, Princess. I'd hail. Threx's voice slithered like oil. Review convenes. Arena right stands provisionally. But records demand scrutiny. Evan scanned the hollow projection hovering central. Treaty draft, right transcript, blood bond scan. His correction from the arena hack glowed red-flagged. Environment stabilization mistranslated as right sabotage. Park leaned forward. Evan's intervention saved the right. Scales stabilized. Proofs in the scans. Threx waved a claw. Irrelevant. Human phrase logged. Hack the planet. Translation. Planetary conquest. Void's purity. Evan's jaw tightened. He tapped the hollow, pulling up raw audio. His voice played, hack the environment, stabilize it. Subtitles flickered wrong. Conquer world. Fix it. Evan keyed override, voice steady. Human idiom. Hack means quick fix, not invasion. Log corrected, environmental adjustment. On record. Council hissed. Zurak's staff pulsed. Literal truth binds. Proof? Evan synced his wristpad to the hollow. Earth databases fed in. Idiom etymology, usage examples. Data verified. No conquest intent. Vexa gripped his thigh under table. Claws pricked approval. Threx smirked. Amusing, but addendum proposes clarity. He projected new clause. Bondmate serves as faction hostage. Human forfeit if treaty falters. Gasps rippled. Park shot Evan a warning glance. Hostage? That twisted their accident into a kill switch. Evan's pulse spiked. Goal, neuter the trap. He stood, projecting Earth's contract law template. Clean lines. Bullet points. Counter. Define terms. Human structure. Clause 1. Engagement mutual. No unilateral forfeit. Threx laughed, scales rattling. Soft words. Core empire binds by blade. Not ink. Blade enforces contract. Evan highlighted definitions. Hostage. Redefine. Collaborative security. Both sides guarantee compliance. Penalty. Mutual review, not execution. Council leaned in. Aliens blinked at the grid clauses nested. Escape hatches sealed. Vexa rose, blade humming at hip. Hale speaks truth. I back terms. Her eyes swept table. Object, duel for standing. Now.
Threx froze. His faction shifted uneasily.
Princess's duelist rep loomed. No one survived her challenges lightly. Surak tapped staff. Terms. Precise. Tradition allows clarity. Addendum amended. Collaborative security. Blood bond witnesses. Evan exhaled. Win. Won. But Threx's gaze lingered, promising counters. Park murmured aside. Good pivot, Hale. Keeps you breathing. Vexa sat, tail coiling Evan's ankle. Trust sealed in grip. Threx cleared throat. Provisional acceptance. But human competence raises query. How does fish out of water breach right purity? Translation. Aquatic sabotage. Evan blinked. Another twist. His pre-write quip. Logged wrong. Council erupted. Shurak demanded full transcript. Evan pulled it up. His casual line to Park. Fish out of water here. Meaning, out of element. Translated. Saboteur from depths. Idiom again. Evan fed more data. Human expression. Newcomer. Adapting. No sabotage. Threx pounced. Adapting implies infiltration. Addendum 2. Human monitored eternally. Vexa's claw dug in. Evan countered fast, layering contract shields. Monitor, mutual observation, data shared. No isolation. She nodded fierce. Duel any who push further. Surok intoned. Bindings tighten. Right endures. But Threx whispered to aides. Hollow glitched. Subtle code inject. Evan spotted it. Wrist pad pinged intrusion. He isolated, purged. Clean now. Aliens gawked. Human tech weaponry. Seamless. Park grinned faint. Your normal saves us. Session dragged. Clauses stacked. Evan's human logic carved paths through alien knots. Definitions locked. Ambiguities slain. Vexa dueled words with him, her growls punctuating approvals. Faction eyes widened at their sink. Duelist princess yielding to soft-skin strategies. Threx yielded ground, but eyes burned. Final review. Dawn Arena echo. Physical proof. Surik sealed hollow. Adjourned. Blood calls truth. Council dispersed. Vexa yanked Evan into side alcove. Lips crashed his, fangs nipping. You war with words. My blade waits. He cupped her jaw. Scales warm. Words first. Blades back up. Park clapped shoulder. Treaties breathing. But Threx wants your head as trophy. Evan nodded. Forced proximity forged steel. Love? Deeper than pact. They tunneled back. Guards doubled. Shadows thickened. Trex's spies? Sweet door hissed shut. Vexa pinned him to bulkhead again. Clothes hit floor. Bodies clashed. Rhythms honed by trial. Dawn hollow buzzed. Arena summons. Rex's seal glowed sinister. Evan traced her scar lines. One word flipped it all. Her laugh rumbled. Battlefield shifts. Trust me? Always. But door sensors pinged. Breach alert. Intruders. Now. Vexa snatched blade. Evan grabbed training steel. Pheromones turned to adrenaline. They burst out. 3 shadows lunged. Threx's assassins. Claws poisoned. Vexa spun, slashed first throat. Evan parried second, tripped with human grapple. Third fled. Guards swarmed late. Proof. Assassination attempt. Evan panted. Hostage claws bites back. Vexa smeared assassin blood on his cheek. War. Declared. Park's calm crackled. Council emergency. Threx denies. Arena at noon. Your trial. Real battlefield. That one word. Hack or hostage. Blood bond itched. Trust tested. Love armed. Noon loomed. Survive the ink. Then blades. Threx's game cracked, but final stroke hovered. Evan met Vexa's eyes. Together carved truth. Her claw locked his. Blood eternal. Arena roared distant. Political storm broke. Competence called. Chancellor Threx's hologram flickered to life above the arena's central dais. The binding ceremony commences now. Procession rerouted through the lower vaults. No delays. Evan gripped Vexa's clawed hand tighter. Her scales rasped against his skin. Guards shoved them forward from the suite's antechamber. The arena's roar swelled outside. Thousands baying for blood or vows. Threx's move stank of trap. Early schedule meant no prep time, no human backups. Vexa snarled low. He rushes to chain me before council votes. Stay sharp. Evan scanned the corridor. Ambassador Park's voice crackled in his earpiece. Threx stacked the guards. Leon out. Reroute if you spot gaps. They marched into the vault procession. Dim lumens cast long shadows on chitin armored flanks. Vex's honor guard flanked them, blades humming, but Evan clocked it, spacing wrong. 5 paces between the rear pair. Standard was 3, a blind spot for ambush. He tugged Vexa's arm, service passage. Now, her eyes narrowed, golden slits flaring. Detour insults tradition. Tradition dies if we're dead. He nodded at the gap. She hissed assent. They veered sharp left. A guard grunted protest, but Vexa flashed fangs. He backed off. The service passage swallowed them. Narrow, steam-hissed conduits dripped condensation. Echoes of the main route faded. Evan's boots splashed shallow puddles. Vexa's tail lashed, sensing it too. Footsteps scraped ahead, too light for guards. Ambush. Evan yanked her behind a pipe cluster. 3 assassins burst from a grate. Claws gleamed poison black. Threx's sigil etched on bracers. They lunged, blades whistling. Vexa exploded forward. Her duelist's blade sang, severed the lead assassin's arm at the elbow. Blood sprayed metallic tang. Evan dodged the second. No weapon matched her speed. He snatched a wall-mounted safety canister, fire suppressant, standard diplomatic ship gear, thumbed the burst nozzle. White foam erupted in a choking cloud. The second assassin clawed blindly, choking. Evans sidestepped, drove his elbow into its throat. It crumpled. Third assassin leaped over the foam, talons raked for Vex's back. She spun mid-slash, impaled it through the chest, pinned it writhing to the wall. Silence dropped. Foam hissed on the floor. Vexa yanked her blade free. Blood pattered. Evan panted. Clear. She whirled, saw the rear guards charging up. Witnesses. Protocol drones hovered, recording. Her body slammed over his, shielding him from the passage mouth. Claws braced wide. Mine, she growled at the guards. Touch him. Die. Guards halted. One keyed comms. Assault confirmed. Princess defends human consort. Vex's frame trembled against him. Not fear. Fury. Her scent shifted. Musk of possession. Evan pressed back. Steady. Trust sealed in foam and blood. Park's voice cut in. Footage viral. Threx's plot exposed. Push to ceremony. Claim the vows. They'd burst from the passage. Arena gates ground open. Crowd's roar hit like a wave. Threx stood on the dais, scales paling. Blade priest Surok chanted invocation. Blades crossed over the binding altar. Vexa dragged Evan center stage. Witnesses packed the tiers. Counselors, duelists, spies. Surok's eyes bored in. Intruders slain. Ritual proceeds. Vows now. No time for doubt. Vexa knelt first, blade tip drawing a ritual cut on her palm. Blood welled crimson black. She offered it. By claw and fang I claim Evan Hale. Blood eternal. Evan mirrored. His knife, borrowed steel. Nicked, deep. Pain bit clean. He clasped her palm. Warmth spread. Alien enzymes tingling. By word and deed I stand with Vexa core. Blood eternal. Surok intoned. Pact binds. Empire witnesses. Crowd thundered approval. Threx's mandibles clicked fury. Then, a glint from the upper tiers. Sniper drone? No. Crossbow bolt. Poison tip arcing straight for Vex's exposed neck. Evan moved first. Safety canister still clipped to his belt from the passage. He ripped it free, burst it upward. Foam cloud billowed into the bolt's path. Tip veered wild, clattering harmless on stone. Chaos erupted. Vexa rolled them both behind the altar. Her blade flashed out, shattering the sniper perch. Shards rained. Guards swarmed the tiers. Surok bellowed. Sacrilege. Assassin in the god's sight. Evan crouched with her. Foam canister empty but clutched tight. Her eyes locked his. Shock melting to fire. You saw it. Saved me. Teamwork. He grinned through adrenaline. Her claw cupped his jaw, drawing him close. Lips, fierce, scaled, crashed against his. Crowd roar drowned the kiss, but her growl hummed through him. Threx stormed the dais. Human trickery, canister foul. Surok slashed air with blade. Human ingenuity honors the pact. Proof of consort's worth. Threx, stand down or face duel, counselors murmured. Park slipped through guards, nodding sharp. Treaty's ironclad now. Vexa rose, hauling Evan up. Blood mingled on their clasped hands, glowing under arena lights. War's over, Chancellor. He's mine. Threx retreated, eyes venom, but the arena chanted. Blood eternal. Evan felt her tail coil his waist, possessive anchor. One word, one hack, flipped empires. Competence bought time. Trust forged steel. Love? It burned hotter than poison. Park clapped his shoulder later in the sealed chambers. You turned accident to legend. Vexa's faction owns the council. Evan traced the bonding scar. Vexa lounged nearby, sharpening blade. Her gaze pinned him, hungry. Arena next? We're here. He smirked. Your call, princess. She pounced. Bodies tangled. Political storms raged outside. Inside, rhythms synced perfect. But calm pinged. Threx's final play. Emergency duel challenge. Dawn. Vexa laughed against his skin. Together? Evan nodded. Blades waited. Love armed. Dawn broke red. Arena gates hissed. Threx waited, flanked by duelists. Surok officiated. Vexa stepped forward. Evan at her side, consorts steel in hand. Yield the pact, Threx hissed, or bleed. Vexa bared fangs. Bleed you first. Blades clashed. Evan parried a flanker. Human footwork dodging claws. Vexa carved main threat. Threx's arm gashed open. He lunged wild. Evan tripped him low. Grapple hold from training mats. Vexa finished. Blade to throat. Arena silent, then erupted. Surak declared. Pact absolute. Human proves. Threx dragged away. Empire shifted. Back in chambers. Vexa pinned him again. Your mistake saved us. Evan pulled her close. Our victory. Bodies moved. Trust complete. Love unbound. Weeks blurred. Treaty signed. Park prepped return shuttle, but Vexa refused. He stays. Evan chose. With you. Stars wheeled. Human competence met alien fire. Together, unbreakable. Council intrigue simmered low. Assassins purged. Vexa's claws traced his scars. More battles? He kissed her palm. Always ready. Her laugh rumbled. Empires bowed. Love conquered. Vexa yanked Evan's arm through the towering obsidian doors. Court chanted. Blades gleamed on every wall. She shoved him forward onto the central dais, her claws digging just enough to draw blood. Choose now, human. Me or exile. Evan stumbled but caught his balance. His suit hung torn from the ritual chase. Alien eyes bored into him. Thousands in tiered seats, holographic feeds beaming to the Empire's core worlds. Chancellor Threx smirked from his podium. Fingers stippled. Blade Priest Surak loomed beside the throne, staff humming with ritual energy. Ambassador Park watched from the human delegation alcove, face pale but composed. Evan straightened, heart hammered, no time for doubt. Princess Vexa, he said, voice steady through the translator implant. I accept. Gasps rippled. Vexa bared fangs, tail lashing. Terms? He met her golden gaze, revised. Our engagement binds the human-alien alliance. No fractures. Full treaty integration, or no deal. Threx shot up. Blasphemy. A human cannot dictate core law. Surak's staff cracked the floor. Sparks flew. Silence. The challenger speaks. Tradition demands response. Vexa circled Evan, nostrils flaring at his scent. Her dual-scarred arms flexed, Leku twitching. You trigger pact by touch. Now rewrite it. Bold, soft skin. Evan held ground. Practical. Your empire needs our tech. Our gates stabilize your warp storms. We need your borders against the Varg raiders. Tie it here. Make it unbreakable. Park nodded, subtly from afar. Good. Backup plan engaged. Threx hissed. Emaxos. Execute the interloper. Bind her to my house instead. Vexa whirled. My blades choose, Chancellor, not your schemes. She faced Evan again, close enough her breath heated his cheek. Prove competence. One trial. Survive my strike unarmed. Court roared approval. Surak raised staff. Accepted. Strike now. Vexa lunged. Claws extended. Evan dodged left. Pure reflex from embassy sparring. Her talons grazed his shoulder, shredding fabric. He rolled, grabbed her wrist mid-swing, twisted using her momentum. She flipped over him, landed cat-light, eyes widened fractionally. Human trick? Training, Evan gasped, backing up. Blood trickled warm. Judo. Leverage over strength. She attacked again, faster. He parried with forearms. Bruises blooming, ducked low, swept her leg. Not enough to topple, just unbalance. She recovered, pinned him chest down. Knee in his back. Yield? Evan bucked. Used hips to bridge, flipped her off. Scrambled up. Never. Alliance holds. Crowd hushed. Threx gripped podium. Park whispered into calm diplomatic channels firing. Vexa laughed, throaty rumble. Enough. You live. She hauled him up by collar. Engagement stands. Revised. Surak intoned. Pact sealed by trial. Human consort proven. Call session for treaty. Threx bellowed. This whelp dilutes bloodlines. I challenge proxy rights. Denied. Surak snapped. Law binds. Proceed. Evan wiped sweat. Vexa's hand lingered on his arm. Possessive. Hot. Trust flickered in her gaze. First crack in her armor. Ambassador Park strode forward under escort. Datapad glowed. Human Alliance concurs. Full terms. Shared orbitals. Joint fleets. Tech exchange. Sign now. Threx blocked path. Delay. Verify human purity. Scans show anomalies. Fragile bones. Short lifespan. Evan stepped between. Anomalies that built stargates in decades. Your ships take centuries. Sign, Chancellor, or lose the pact. Park placed pad on central plinth. Hollow contract spun up, clauses ticking green. Threx's aides murmured, faction holograms flickering doubt. Vexa snarled, sign Threx, or I carve your refusal into your hide. Sirach's eyes narrowed. Open session demands consensus. Vote relays active. Tiered seats lit with votes. Threx's block pulsed red, but warriors, Vexa's kin, flashed blue. Merchants green for trade. Tide turned. Threx paled scales. You wield him as weapon. Evan smirked inwardly. Accident turned ace. Park thumbed signature. Human side locked. Vexa slashed her palm on the plinth scanner. Blood verified. Core Royal affirmed. Surak boomed. Treaty absolute. Consort guardians appointed. Dismissed. Chaos erupted. Cheers drowned Threx's protests. Guards hauled him back as his leverage crumbled. Faction whispers turning to open defection. Vexa grabbed Evan's hand. Claws pricked but held firm. Come, consort. We guard packed together. She pulled him through archways. Court faded behind. Corridors twisted to private lifts. Doors hissed shut. Alone. Evan flexed fingers in her grip. That was close. She pressed him against wall. Body heat radiated. You fought well. Smell of victory clings. Nose trailed his neck. Pulse raced. Political win first. Her laugh vibrated. Politics bore. This, mouth claimed his. Fangs nipped careful. Tongs met. Alien spice sharp. Evan responded. Hands roamed, scaled curves. Fabric tore. Skin met scales. Perfect friction. Lift dinged. Private chambers. She shoved him onto furs. Straddled. Mine now. He pulled her down. Ours. Rhythms built. Claws raked light. Human endurance met alien ferocity. Peaks synced. Calm buzzed mid-afterglow. Threx's seal. Emergency duel. Dawn. Yield pact or face me. Vexa snatched device. Crushed it. Laughed against Evan's chest. Together? He nodded. Arm around her waist. Blades ready. Dawn arena gates hissed open. Red light bled across sands. Threx waited center, flanked by two duelists. Claws chromed, tails armored. Surak stood podium. Staff aglow. Vexa stepped forward. Evan matched stride, consort blade. Light balanced for human grip. In hand. Gift from her armory. Threx sneered. Yield the pact, pretender, or bleed dry. Vexa bared full fangs. Bleed you first, worm. Duelists charged. Blades sang. Evan parried left flanker. Human footwork danced. Quick pivots evading claw swipes. Steel clanged. He riposted low, nicking thigh tendon. Alien staggered, eyes wide at speed. Vexa carved right threat. Her great blade whirled, gashed arm deep. Blood sprayed obsidian. Threx lunged wild through gap. Saber aimed for Evan's throat. Evan dropped low, tripped with leg hook. Old grappling mats paying off. Threx sprawled. Vexa pounced, blade to throat. Yield. Arena fell silent, then exploded. War cries, stomps. Sirach raised staff. Challenge failed. Pact absolute.
Human consort proves worth. Guards dragged Threx away, snarling.
Empire shifted underfoot. Back in chambers, Vexa pinned Evan to bed. Your mistake saved us all. He traced her scars, pulled close. Our victory. Bodies moved again. Trust sealed in sweat. Love ignited. Weeks blurred. Treaty shuttles launched. Park prepped human return. Evan? Earth calls. Vexa refused. Claws on his chest. He stays. Guardian oath. Evan chose. Met her eyes. With you. Stars wheeled outside viewports. Human competence fused alien fire. Unbreakable. Council intrigue simmered low. Threx's assassins purged in raids, Vexa's blades leading, her claws traced his new scars. More battles ahead? He kissed palm. Always ready. Her laugh rumbled deep. Empires bowed to their pact. Love conquered all.